Our first guest tonight is the Emmy-winning producer, director, writer, and star of one of, I think, the best shows ever. Barry returns for its fourth and final season with 2 episodes this Sunday on HBO. Please say hello to Bill Hader. Very good to see you. How's it going?
Good, good.
You know, Carol Burnett was here on Tuesday.
I know.
Do you know about this?
We are related.
You are related. She found out on Finding Your Roots that she's like a distant cousin.
It's insane. Yeah, she emailed me and said, we're related.
What?
And I was like, what? And I turned to my daughters, I'm like, we're related to Miss Hannigan. But yeah, I was on Finding Your Roots. We were on the same show, I think.
We were on the same show. I found out I was related to Martha Stewart. Did not hear from her at all. And I don't want to start any trouble. You know I don't like to start trouble. But we did some digging, and we found a clip that I think it's important that America sees.
A huge crush on Carol Burnett. Just that Q&A thing at the beginning. How could you not? It was such a smart thing doing that Q&A, because I did. I just had a giant crush on her.
Oh.
Hey, man.
You sick?
Hey, you can take the boy out of Oklahoma. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, that's the way it works. I knew there was something about her.
There was an attraction there.
There was something about her.
You, what else did you learn on Finding Your Roots? Did you, anybody else famous?
Well, the big thing about Finding Your Roots is you do it, and then they go, so you were related to someone who fought in the Civil War. And you're like, uh-huh. And you're like, please be on the Union. And they go, and they were born in Missouri. And I'm like, oh, and they fought for the Union. And I'm like, oh, my God. It's the worst thing ever. Where you're like, why are you drawing this out? You know?
Do you ever bring your daughters to the set of Barry?
Well, there's not a lot that they can see.
Yes, that's why I
it's kind of a rough one.
Yeah.
But they don't really care about it. I mean, there's billboards around the city right now with me, and they're like, hey, guys, look, it's Barry. And my daughter will be like, hey, look, it's the final season of Barry. You know what show they love is RuPaul's Drag Race.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, we love RuPaul's Drag Race. We watch it as a family. We're obsessed with it. Anitra, the duck walk, they do it around, they love it. And then it's a pretty, you know, it's really raunchy, that show.
Yeah.
And so I was watching it, and my daughter, she's in elementary school, and she turned to me and she said, Dad, what does mean? And I said, that's another word for a woman's vagina. And she looked at me and she went, I'm never going to ask you another question for the rest of my life.
Your kids are funny.
Yeah, they're very funny. Yeah.
There's something in the genes. Burnett to the Hader girls.
Yeah, way easy. Yeah.
You directed all 8 episodes of Barry this season, which I'm going to tell you something. You know, I was fortunate enough to get an advanced copy of the first 4 episodes of the show. I didn't know you directed them, and then I sent you in a text. I was like, wow, the directing was really great, and you probably thought I was just brazenly kissing your ass, but I didn't know you directed
thank you,
it.
Thank you very much.
I had no idea. There's a scene in a Dave and Buster's in particular.
Oh, yeah, the second episode, NoHo Hank and Cristobal are giving this, you know, this kind of speech to these guys. And one of the writers on the show is very good, my best friend from high school, this guy Duffy Boudreaux, and that's his real name. And the way we kind of write the show is we'll write, you know, we wrote this scene and it always took place in a warehouse with a bunch of like criminals listening to them give this speech. And then, you know, it's just, people always talk about the tone of the show, and I think you know, how it comes from is you write these very serious kind of scenes that you've seen in a lot of movies and shows, and then we get bored and say, well, what if this was in Dave and Buster's? Out of just sheer boredom. And then suddenly, you know, it's interesting.
Yeah, this classic, like the crime lords call the criminals into
the scene
a
in The
room.
Godfather where it's the 5 families and everything. I was like, what if it's a Dave and Buster's and people are like coming in going like, can I get any starters for you? You know, and all that stuff. So yeah.
When you have a friend like Duffy, whose family, by the way, had to be on the other side, if we go back. When you got a friend like that, I mean, no question, the Boudreaux.
The Boudreaux were like...
Terrible people. Does Duffy, is he honest with you because he's your old pal?
Yeah, no, he's great. We had a scene, there's a scene in the first episode where I have to have this kind of mental breakdown. And I think it's really good. And when it's the first take, and I'm like, oh, it's like, I got that scene out of the way. I'm so nervous, and I'm feeling good. And then Duffy walks in, and I'm like, hey, that was pretty good, right? And he's like, yeah, man, I think we should probably go again. And this is how he talks. He exhales his words. His whole family does this. They're watching this in Tulsa, Oklahoma right now going, what is he talking about? But he exhales his words. So he's like, yeah, man, I think we should probably go again. He always feels like he just took a bong hit, is what it sounds like. And I say, why? And he's like, last take, a lot of acting in that one, bud. And I go, what do you mean acting? That's what I'm doing. He's like, I know, man, but I was waiting you to do some, like, I don't know, to be or not to be bullshit or something, man. Like, I don't know, act, you know, you should be crazy, act crazy, you know? And he kind of walks away, and I'm like, you're right.
He was right.
Yeah, so I went in there, and I did the next one. I'm really annoyed, and I'm like, I can't believe you said that. So then, next take, I start it, and it's in the show, it's in the first episode, I start hitting myself.
Yeah.
And I hear behind the wall, Duffy go, there he is.
Well, there he is, Bill Hader, everybody. Barry, we'll be right back.
This is a collect call from Barry, an inmate at California State Penitentiary. Do you accept the charges?
Yes.
Mr. Cousineau?
Yeah.
Did you guys trick me? Are you and Jim Moss working together? Are you there? Look, Mr. Cousineau, I want you to know I went there because I was worried about you and I was protecting you. You know that, right? You know that, right? Are you mad at me? Mr. Cousineau, are you mad at me? Because I love you.
What did you say?
I said I love you.
Hey, Barry. Yeah. I got you.
That is Henry Winkler and Bill Hader in the final season, sadly, of Barry, the first episode. By the way, Henry Winkler is great in that first episode.
Henry's
is just
amazing.
great. I mean, he's so nice, it's almost ridiculous.
Yeah, he's one of the sweetest human beings on the planet. We shot a scene last season where I get arrested. Like, he basically is the guy. He set me up to get arrested. And we're shooting it, and I'm explaining him the scene, and I'm like, this is a really big thing. You know, they're gonna come in, they're gonna put me in handcuffs, and you're the one, you gotta give me this look and doing anything. And he goes, at what point do I tell the crew that I brought bundt cake? Why don't we tell them after we shoot it? He goes, because if we tell them before, they'll be thinking bundt cakes. Right. I need them focused.
Did he make the bundt cake?
I don't know where he finds these cakes.
Oh, it's a regular thing.
It's a regular thing where Stacy, his beautiful wife, he's like, Stacy and I just wanted you all to have this, and it's always these very interesting cakes. He's just the sweetest human being on the planet.
He really is. Did you shoot the prison stuff in a prison?
Yeah, we actually shot in a real prison, yeah.
That wasn't at the Marriott
That wasn't
Burbank?
at the Marriott in Burbank, It looks like the Marriott in Burbank.
It's nicer than the Marriott in Burbank.
It's nicer than the Marriott in Burbank. We know we did shoot something in the Marriott in Burbank. It's the very first shot of the very first episode of Barry, because we needed a hotel that looked like is a place you would find a dead body.
Well, I will say, if you happen to be in Burbank over the weekend, you may find a few dead bodies. Depending upon how the dancing goes, you know? Yeah, it's a big hip-hop convention going on there. Big hip-hop dance convention going on there.
Just all these, fly girls.
A lot of fly girls, yeah. From
At
Atlanta,
the Burbank
no less.
airport, yeah.
You, have you ever been arrested?
Yes.
You have?
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
And oh, yes.
These guys are excited to hear about that. You take notes, because you're going to need it for this weekend. No, I was, so my dad one night was telling me and my friends, and he started he was like, we were talking about, things like, tricks we play on people or whatever. And then my dad did the classic, like, let me tell you something I did, but hey, you guys can't do this. And we're like, And he's like, we used to take 2 trash cans and put fishing wire between them. And we put one on either side of the street. And when a car goes through, the trash cans go bop on the side of the car. It was hilarious. But don't do that. And we were like, okay. So my friends and I ran out. We got 2 trash cans. But he meant like a street, like a residential street. We put it across like a thoroughfare, like 4-lane street. And instead of fishing line, we had this giant piece of rope that went across. And we were like, this isn't working. This is weird. So we were like, as a car goes by, we'll pull the trash cans, one guy on either side, and then the rope will come up and a car will go through it. It'll be hilarious.
Yeah.
So it's really late at night. We're at a park. We're waiting, and here comes a car. And we're like, all right, ready, go. And we pull it up. Car goes through. It's a cop car. The trash cans, the rope is too long that the trash cans go behind the car, and they bang into each other. So it looks like you just got married, So it's like, and it scared the out of this cop. The car went like, it was like, like the car just was like, and everybody ran, but I was like, I'm gonna be cool. So I went over to my car and just was like smoking a cigarette, like, hey, what happened, officer? And he drives up, is like, with the trash cans, and he gets out, and he's like freaked out, and I was like, something wrong, sir? It's like, what's going on? I heard something down there, and he was like, and he had a flashlight, and then he made me pick up beer cans at this, so I got arrested, and then afterward, but I had to pick up beer cans. That was like before the whole thing went down.
He came up with your
punishment.
Yeah.
And I remember I was picking up beer cans. This is in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I remember there was Natty Light cans, and he was like, "What are you all on a budget?" And then, but I'll tell you, that guy had glasses and everything, and that is the guy that I based my character on Superbad on.
On that guy?
Yeah. That guy with the glasses. I did that movie, Seth Rogen, and then we're like, and I go, I got messed with by a cop with glasses, and Seth was like, oh yeah, that's like so lame. You can't take a cop with glasses seriously. So.
Well, your father must have been very proud, I would imagine.
He just learned about it right now.
Season 4 of Barry premieres Sunday on HBO and HBO Max. Bill Hader, everybody. We'll be back. We'll talk to